Economic stability is central to the global development agenda, but the word stability itself is often missing from the global development dialogue. In a climate where many agreements are not doing enough to create economic stability for its citizens, how are entrepreneurs and innovators filling the gap? Here to talk about it is Psilos, Asia Pacific Technical Advisor for Economic Development and Innovation, also Principal Researcher for FHI 360's Atlas of Innovation for Economic Stability. Welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you, Vincent.
First, just help us understand what you do.
So I work for an international nonprofit organization that improves the health and well-being of people around the world and in the United States. And we do that through research and implementing programs around the world, a lot of them having to do with innovation, bring new innovation to achieving sustainable development goals, saving lives, and really helping advance prosperity around the world.
Yeah. Now, you created this Atlas innovation, the Atlas of Innovation for Economic. What is the purpose?
The purpose is really to, for the first time, showcase all of the innovations that are coming out of the private sector, also the public sector, and the international nonprofit sector that enhance economic stability for poor and vulnerable people around the world. And it's really in service of a broader goal to help economies become more inclusive of more people, especially poor and vulnerable people who might have been left out of recent economic growth since the financial crisis.
And we know that without stability, you cannot have any economic development. What are the, especially entrepreneurs, doing in an environment where there might not be general stability?
Right. Well, I think the people who have really taken the brunt of instability in the past are, in Africa, are small farmers and merchants who are flying blind in many cases, don't have access to great information. They're going it alone. They don't have, they take all the risk. They had, until recently, they had no insurance, no means of spreading the risk. I think what's changing right now is that because of mobile phone technology and the role of data in the economy, now, this is all changing. More small farmers, merchants are getting access to services through their mobile phones.
And you actually have some examples, I think, from, is it Kenya, Uganda, and some other countries where these things are.
In Africa, the real hotspots for entrepreneurial innovation and technology development are Kenya and Nigeria, a little bit of Uganda, a little bit of South Africa. I mean, in Kenya, you have an amazing diversity of innovation, from Farm Drive, a company founded by two young Kenyan women who are essentially providing a credit bureau for smallholder farmers, and for the first time making them able to get loans and investment. Also in Kenya, the Usalama panic button app, private emergency services help people deal with emergency situations. So if your life is threatened, your economic stability is threatened, and if you can save it, you can enhance your
And of course, governments need to know that the contribution of citizens lead to economic development of a country as a whole. So what should governments do to enable small businesses operate in a safe way?
Open data is a big one. India is really providing the example for how to make digital identities something on which entrepreneurs can build new services the government might not even think of. The government should continue to do what they're good at, providing safety nets, good regulation, macroeconomic management, but they also need to realize there are lots of private services that help individuals make better decisions, invest in their future, and become more resilient to volatility and shocks in the economy. And the more open they are with data, with identities, with information, the more they'll support entrepreneurs in advancing that.
In few words, do you get the sense that African countries particularly recognize the contribution made by small businesses?
That's a difficult question. I certainly think that there are countries that are leading the way. Kenya, Rwanda, both very dynamic entrepreneurial environments, focus on digital innovation. Others may not have the capacity yet to really overtake their challenges, but I think it's coming.
Well, big topic. We'll talk about this perhaps even a bit lengthy next time. Thanks a lot, Phil, for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having us.
That's Phil Psilos, who is an Asia Pacific Technical Advisor for Economic Development and Innovation. And we appreciate his joining us today on the program.